back to Quarter of Hell Season 2. Now, this is some time after my birthday. I'm sorry. The first episode is being released about somewhere around the 7th. So this is coming out somewhere around the 12th or so. And also, I'm a teenager now, so videos will be more frequent. However, it's just going to be this series. Of course, all the other videos I will continue. I have not touched anything in each video on anything that I've done on this channel for a while. So you guys are fine. Everything's okay. I have done some work off camera on Minecraft, and that was like 2 weeks ago, right as that new video of Minecraft was released. Anyways, let's get to episode 2. Like you know, I do it on a different count. But yeah, I hope y'all had a good 4th July. So if I didn't announce that in the first video, that's because actually that video was made in June 30th. So I didn't really announce it in that video. That was a while back. So the reason why it's being uploaded now is because I took a little vacay, and I actually wanted to make sure I was ready to record again. But yeah, we're basically trying to beat this, try to get as many wins as possible, and get a name tag at least. Dang it. Chat, I can't really turn off chat in Roblox, so you'll just deal with it. And also there will be a Minecraft video coming up, actually, too. I'm gonna be on the works of. I'll be recording it tomorrow, but it's gonna be Lego Star Wars Minecraft Edition. So I've got the whole world of Lego Star Wars. I'm basically just gonna visit each location. They have it from episode 1 through 9. So yes, the sequels are actually, by the way, the sequels are nowhere near part of the series. This was actually the movie. These movies were basically built in and made just because people requested for them and they wanted more movies. It was supposed to be just the original 6 movies, 1 through 6, of course, from Phantom Menace all the way to The Return of the Jedi, which, if you don't know, because most people should know by now, if you've seen Star Wars, that it ended off in Revenge of the Sith, where all the Jedi have passed on and died, which the main ones were, of course, Mace Windu and a couple others. Mace actually lived, but people have said he died on, like, within the timeline, within the 10 years of, Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So Luke was nowhere near the age of 16/17 when he left. When he left, he was 16 or 17. He was about 9-ish, 10-ish when Mace passed away. So, sad days. We made it halfway through the course. I don't know how many levels there are. There's 10. We went through 5. But I'm just talking about Star Wars things because, well, there could be something with Star Wars related showing up soon. I'm not going to talk about the game. I've talked enough about it yet in the last video, actually. Not yesterday, because I didn't record it yesterday. I was too busy with my birthday. The day before that, on the 5th. But, basically, we're going to talk about about 3 Star Wars characters. I'm going to go with Anakin, ObiWan, and ObiWan. And don't worry, the other characters will be initiated into it, so it's part of their storylines, what would happen. So, new area, nice. Idiot, okay. But we're going to let's start off with Qui-Gon, not Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon died off pretty early in the series. Though he was 60, it didn't really make sense to kill him off. There were premonitions of him supposed to train Anakin, where Anakin didn't become Vader, and Anakin actually was a light side user, and he actually knew a different path like Qui-Gon, and actually knew who was the Sith at a time. Qui-Gon didn't really know much because he was more of a curious man, but he wasn't focused on taking on Sith. He was more focused on just taking out the uh the little traitors and filth and what's it called? The filth, whatever you call it. Well, of course, the people that betrayed the Jedi Order and the Republic. He had no idea it was Sheev Palpatine. No one knew about it until Anakin was known about it. Revenge of the Sith, halfway through the movie. By the way, so if people that are playing Lego Star Wars and they're having troubles with Phantom Menace Part 5, it is very, very, very easy. And I'm assuming it's somewhere in the castle. It's either in the castle or right in the exit part where you're having troubles at. You just gotta keep exploring and looking at tutorials and you'll get help. Do not report in bad ratings. It's nothing too bad. It's just there's some hard parts in the storyline, and it takes a while. That's what makes it about almost as long as the movies. They try to make it as long as the movies. I've actually completed the whole series myself. I will show you guys I'll show you guys a photo of all the characters collected, so you guys know. If most people know all the characters are collected because the storyline is complete. You have to complete the whole storyline to get every character that is good. So Darth Vader, I think, is a part of the collection. So is Darth Sidious. Every other Sith is not because, well, they're not plotted for a long time. Unlike Anakin, Anakin's been there since day one. But would have been a cool thing is ObiWan would have had a master and treat it, even if Qui-Gon died later on. Qui-Gon would at least taught Obi-Wan how to exactly train a Jedi more proper. So Anakin would have more proper training, and Anakin most likely would have chosen light over dark, and he would have most likely saved Windu during the Revenge of the Sith when Sheev got Windu right at his edges and was bearing for, well, aka help from Anakin to aka Darth Vader later on in the series. Now, well, I'm not going to talk about the characters too much, but I'm going to make sure I fill in enough pieces on what to do about the characters. We're going to go to Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're going to start from oldest to youngest. Of course, Anakin was young before he turned into Darth Vader. Darth Vader technically is a different person, so you want to cut Vader out of the storyline. Vader was about the same age as Anakin when he died. And Anakin returned, so he was technically 23 when his death happened, and Darth Vader was 22 when his death happened. So, same person, but two different kind of lives here, and two different kind of things going on. What was a faithful indeed is some people might caught on to the point where Obi-Wan said, I failed you, Anakin. I failed you. What did that mean? In any storyline continuance, some people just say they just wanted to put a line in there just to make it look fun, make this intensifying. No, it actually meant something. Obi-Wan didn't have the same practice as every other Jedi because his master, Qui-Gon, passed on and from Darth Maul. So Obi-Wan was penetrating some dark, like mace, and putting it on his apprentice. And when Anakin was force feeling, every time he was told to stay back, not to help, he couldn't do anything about it due to all the anger and hate. However, Obi-Wan consumed anger and hate for, of course, different reasons. There's a lot of things happening in the storyline, but the one part that most people are probably going to want to know about is why didn't Obi-Wan live past, of course, A New Hope, and how did he die, essentially and vehemently. Obi-Wan died from a series of kinetics. So basically, his body was old. Of course, he was Now, this is exactly about 20 years after the end of the Sith. Obi-Wan was about in his 30s. He was probably around the range of 37. Now, he looked like about 50 to maybe 50, almost 60 years old in A New Hope, making Obi-Wan the oldest Star Wars character, essentially, except for Yoda as the second oldest. But no, actually, they killed him off because there were some major problems they had with Alec Bennett, who was actually the actor who portrayed old Ben Kenobi in the later movies from the 1900s. So we could portray this as there was some problems that they had with Alec in the past that they couldn't hold. They had to bring him in back and forth between the movies due to, well, of course, that's how George had to make it since what happened. His original plot storyline, I believe here, was he was supposed to take on Vader. Vader would do that same hit he did to Obi-Wan before he disappeared. However, Obi-Wan would soon hit it back, deflect it, jump back, and manage to escape. Within the within A New Hope, not New Hope, within Empire Strikes Back, instead of Han, of course, being hyper frozen, Han would turn into more or less, what should I say? Would be more or less protected by Obi-Wan, and Luke would have more training within the Force, and he'd be very, very powerful. By then, Vader wouldn't have chopped off Luke's hand. Vader would have been probably down to his toes, and Luke would have been right at the same point he was right in the Return of the Jedi, which would make this more impenetrable. So Obi-Wan would this would probably be within a year of A New Hope, which you would probably say Obi-Wan would be now around, you could say, in his 60s at this point. Now, Obi-Wan in the Force isn't too penetrable due to Luke. He had to be there for Anakin's / Padme's kid, due to, of course, Padme died. Anakin turned to the dark side, turned to Vader. So Obi-Wan would soon pass. However, Luke would know more than he already knew. So by the time the Return of the Jedi, his father would already redeem himself since he's seen what happened, what his son did to him, with the year before or the month before in the fight of Alderaan. In the fight, Sky City. So he would soon redeem himself, talk to Luke, and probably try to get himself back on the Republic and try to turn back to Anakin. So meaning he would have more of that Kylo Ren look, where his suit's more or less, instead of scarred, actually red scarred, he would be looking more like the Kylo Ren from The Force Awakens, or penetrating me, so Anakin would live longer. Now, we're getting to the actual Anakin part, where I can literally talk about Anakin every day. Now we're going to talk about the part right in Revenge of the Sith. Now, not before our favorite iconic scene. So, Anakin, I have the high ground. No. This is right before Windu's death. Oh, Anakin had a choice to either have, well, of course, life or death. If they've killed Sheev, aka Sidious, Anakin would have been most likely given the rank of Master. Because if Windu was knocked down due to the lightning, and Sheev managed to pull his lightsaber back, or took Anakin's, sliced off his hands without Anakin's help, Anakin would most likely pull his lightsaber back from Sheev's control, then retract it, kill Sheev, and bring Windu to the medical bay. And then all the clones from, of course, before he announced, would be removed of the chip immediately due to Anakin's help, and Anakin would become a Jedi Master. And and Luke and Leia would have been more likely Anakin's apprentices and Padawans throughout the training course. Unlike Ahsoka didn't get fully training because she had to do some things at her own home planet. Gotta say. But then there's also Yoda and more. Gotta say, but like the sad part is about the whole storyline has to be what's it called? Though the new sequel movies came through, Han's death was the more a prequelizing sad death. Han wasn't supposed to originally die that way. George Lucas had plans for this movie before, and it was supposed to be in his own hands. But as you know, Disney wanted to claim the whole series, the whole entire trilogy, all the way through from it turning into trilogy to the prequels, all the way to the sequels. They wanted to keep the sequels more or less kid-friendly. That's where George just had to change the storyline. So all the characters were supposed to stay in place, except now Luke wasn't supposed to disappear. That was one thing, and Han wasn't supposed to die. Han was supposed to actually manage to retrieve his son back. But in the later movies, Chief Palpatine manages to return, bringing his old apprentice Darth Vader back. However, Vader is more easy to turn on Sheev because, well, of course, this is actually Anakin, the Revenge of the Sith Anakin, before he got literally killed by ObiWan. But yeah, I gotta say, I did a lot of story talking right there. But yeah, he would be able to bring back Obi-Wan because Anakin and Obi-Wan are brothers. So with the heart of Anakin, he could bring back Padme and Obi-Wan due to they had no, of course, their hearts were both broken. So of course there was two different separate paths both had to go to. Padme's of course was death, and Anakin's was Obi-Wan's was of course was death too. They both ran to death. One was from actually Anakin again. One was from Sidious, literally mind controlling Anakin. So Anakin killed both people. So Anakin would retrieve his life back to the way it was supposed to be. I think that's where we're going to leave it off at. We didn't make it far. We made it halfway through earlier. But if you guys didn't like, please do like, subscribe, and see y'all later. Peace. Bye.